All right. Hello, Westmore Central High School. Mr. Ferreri here, Director of School Counseling. Today, meeting with Mr. Joe Elliott, Director of National Recruitment at the University of Arizona. Joe, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Hey, really appreciate you taking the time to meet with us and tell our students and families about the University of Arizona. So, why don't we just get started there? Tell us a little bit about yourself and about the school.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you again for letting me have this opportunity to chat with y'all. So my name is Joe Elliott. I'm the director of our national recruitment team. So I'm actually regionally based. So I am right now in much sunnier New Jersey, but it is always a little bit more sunnier in Tucson, where we are located as the University of Arizona. Really, when you're thinking about the University of Arizona, I think the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of folks in the Northeast is definitely that sunny weather. We have over 300 days of sunshine. Average temperature is about 83 degrees during the school year. So it is definitely a very nice place to live, nice place to learn. And I think the weather really kind of helps that experience a lot for folks in the colder climates. When you're thinking about the University of Arizona, it is in Tucson. So we are in the southern part of the state. It's about 2 hours south of Phoenix. Tucson is a big city. It's about 500,000 residents that live in Tucson. What I think is the most amazing part of Tucson is kind of the University of Arizona is like stuck right in the middle. So it is a wide open city. It's not like Philly. It's not like New York. It's wide open. It's very flat. It's also surrounded by some of the tallest mountain peaks in southern Arizona. So on a July 1st sunny day in Tucson, it's 110 degrees, but you make that hour and 30-minute drive to Mount Lemmon, it'll be about 60 degrees. And the same thing in the winter. If you really do love going skiing in the wintertime, because you're going to make that trip all the way up north, you can make that trip up to Mount Lemmon. They actually have a ski resort located right at the top. So it's definitely, Tucson is definitely a lot more than the University of Arizona, but I think University of Arizona really makes Tucson such an amazing city.
Wow, nice. Didn't realize didn't realize that about Mount Lemon. So really, if people from the Northeast are craving cold, I don't know why they ever would, but
Right.
if they are craving it, they could make the trek up there just a little bit over an hour away. Nice. Um, Joe, can you tell us a little bit about the campus? Kind of, when you are there, what are some things to look for? Is there a favorite spot for you on campus? Kind of give us a little bit of a feel there.
Yeah, I think what really makes our campus stand out is that we are just one campus, and it's about a square mile. So the longest walk you're going to make from corner to corner is about 20 to 25 minutes. As I mentioned before, it is flat, so it's easy to kind of navigate your way through all of our different academic buildings, museums, sports facilities, restaurants, dorms. It is definitely a manageable place to kind of navigate. A lot of students are always like, do I need a car? And I'm like, you don't ever need a car. We have a shuttle service. You can rent bicycles for free from our rec center. You can buy a bicycle. It's a very bike friendly place. Again, you don't have to worry about getting rained on because it very rarely rains during the school year. It's just during the summer. But that 1 square mile campus really is what sets us apart from a lot of other public schools in the state of Arizona. Um, and I think when you feel the campus culture, it's really driven by kind of the nature and the beauty of the place. It is an arboretum, and every single yeah, every single piece of living plant has actually been digitized. You could actually walk around our campus in one of the largest arboretums in the state, and see lots of greenery. You can see cactuses, you can see palm trees, which is always an interesting mix because those two really don't always exist together. But there's a lot of quiet places throughout our campus. There's orange groves, there's olive groves, there's a turtle pond. It's called the President's Pond, which is on the far end of our campus. That's definitely a nice, quiet place to go. But for me, my favorite place is typically going to be anywhere towards our athletic facilities. So McHale, which hosts our men's and women's basketball, our gymnastics programs. That's definitely one of my favorite places to go. It's no other feeling than going to a large school that has such a storied basketball program, and sitting in McHale during any one of those home games, whether it's a women's game or a men's game. It's definitely something that I didn't experience. I did not go to the University of Arizona. I always very straightforward about that. But I have seen plenty of games at McHale, and it's like nothing you'll ever really experience. And I think a lot of it is because us here in Jersey, like we have the Yankees, we have the Mets. Jets, the Giants, the Devils. Those, in theory, are pretty easy to get to if you're not dealing with traffic into the city. But Tucson just has university athletics, and that's the community comes out. So on a home football game on a Saturday night, it starts Friday at 4:00. That's when our pep rally starts. And it goes all the way until kickoff at 8:00 on Saturday. So it's the entire community comes out to support our student athletes, which I think sends this like shockwave through the community, which is really amazing.
Wow. Yeah, you obviously see some basketball games, right, on ESPN or whatever, and you think it's a rather large school. How many students are at the University of Arizona?
We have in total just under 50,000 total students, but it's about 36,000 undergraduate students.
All within a square mile, as you said there on campus. So I imagine it's a bustling, energetic, a lot of things going on there, right?
It is. I would say the busiest place on our campus is our student union during lunchtime. So show up a little bit earlier if you want to get lunch, because it definitely gets packed during lunchtime.
Okay, fair. So you already touched upon this a little bit about the pep rallies and going to the games and stuff. But is there any kind of unique traditions that you could share with the group at the University of Arizona?
Yeah, so our Block A is our logo. That's kind of the most iconic thing about the University of Arizona. You see it in our materials. You'll see it throughout Tucson. You'll see it on clothing. There's Sentinel Mountain. It's about 10 minutes away from our campus. And you can see it from just about anywhere on campus. And there is a giant rock formation that was made about 75 years ago on top of Sentinel Mountain. We now dubbed it A Mountain. And every year students, they make the trek through town to repaint it white. That has definitely been a very big tradition at the University of Arizona for a long time. And it's definitely like that symbol. You'll see it everywhere within Tucson. And it's definitely something that students look forward to doing every single year.
Wow, really cool. Really cool. So, I think you've given us a good feel of, what the campus is like, a little bit of what the student life might be like. Talk to us about academics, and specifically, right, if what is the University of Arizona known for? So if I was going to major in X, this is the school for me.
Yeah, that's a great question. So with over 150 degree opportunities and 20 academic colleges on our campus, I always do it like this. So if you are from the state of Arizona and you're interested in going into the health profession, so you want to be a nurse, a doctor, you go to the University of Arizona. That's kind of just like, that's a given. You're going to go there. We are one of the only universities in the United States that can actually boast 2 teaching hospitals. So we have one located on our campus. We have a second one located in downtown Phoenix. So that's definitely a big draw for students. Interestingly enough, Eller College of Management, which is our business college, actually has more out-of-state students enrolling each year than in-state students. So it is a top 10 public West business college. There are 10 different majors for students. Most interesting fact, and this is I love talking about this with kids from Jersey, there are more Eller alumni living in the tri-state area than any other part of the country. So it just gives you the scope of opportunities here in our own backyard, which is really great. Our dean of Eller often says it's Eller Island, not Ellis Island, because of the fact that there's just so many opportunities for our students for internships and job placement after. I really think those are the big things, but in anything, I think it's research. If a student's interested in research, you're going to come to the University of Arizona. You're going to find research in your very first year. It might not be glamorous. You might not be putting on a lab coat. You might not be going out to interview people, but we give research opportunities for all of our students. We actually do more research at the University of Arizona than any other school in the state of Arizona, rank in the top 3% in North America. And we're a member of the Association of American Universities. So AAU is a collection of 63 public and private universities throughout North America. So some of our peer research institutions are going to be schools like Harvard, Stanford, MIT, Berkeley. So we definitely have a lot of really unique research opportunities for every single one of our programs.
Wow, I didn't realize the alumni network had such a far reach here all the way into the tri-state area. So that's great to know. Talk to us about the affordability for the University of Arizona for our students coming out of state there.
Yep. So 9 out of 10 students will receive some sort of financial assistance through the University of Arizona. So when you're thinking about opportunities, our most popular way for students to kind of get those financial aid opportunities are going to be through our Arizona Tuition Award. So this is a non-resident tuition award. Takes a little bit of explaining, but I can guarantee you it's well worth it. So when a student does apply to the University of Arizona, we review them for admissibility, and we automatically review them for this Arizona Tuition Award. So it's going to be based on a core set of courses. So it's not a cumulative GPA. It is a core GPA, and it is unweighted, and it's only the grades from 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. So it's pretty seamless. It's pretty straightforward. And I know this is going to be that application question also. But think about the idea. Students in that core that might have straight A's, never seen anything lower than an A, you're looking at the potential of getting a tuition award that could be worth upwards of $32,000 per year for up to 4 years. Our fall 23 tuition and mandatory fees, which is guaranteed for up to 4 years, is about $38,000. So tuition and fees, it's not room and board, that's not travel. So if it's about $38,000 and the student's getting $32,000, you're looking at a tuition bill of about $6,000 per year. And of course, that is a sliding scale. It can go as low as $1,000, but it can be worth upwards of that $32,000 per year.
Wow, that's great. So you talked a little bit about the core courses that you guys evaluate. So let's talk about what type of student is typically getting accepted to the University of Arizona. Is there a typical GPA you're looking for, a test score, activities? What are you guys looking for in a student?
Yep. So the easiest way is thinking about that core. So it's 4 years of math, 4 years of English, 3 years of your lab science, 2 years of social science, 2 years of the same foreign language, and 1 year of a fine arts or a career technical course. So that's the 16.
Okay.
If you have a 3.0 or higher in grades 9th, 10th, and 11th, you're assured admissions to the University of Arizona. You snap your fingers and you're like, I'm in. Students that fall below are just placed in what we call a comprehensive review, which means we're going to take more of that holistic review and kind of look at the entire application. That's where we might look at your personal statement, which is typically sent in if you had a learning difference, or maybe you wanted to elaborate why your grades went down in a specific semester. Let's say you played soccer, you broke your leg, you struggled for a semester, but you rebounded really quickly. That's going to give us the context to understand why there was a dip. That's really going to be it. We review students in about 3 to 4 weeks as a rolling admissions school. So when you're thinking about that profile, our Arizona Tuition Award starts at that 2.75. That's where we're starting to give students some sort of financial support. Average student last year had about a 3.35 core unweighted GPA applying to the University of Arizona. No test scores. We've been test optional for a long time, and we remain test optional, and it's not needed to apply to the University of Arizona. It's not needed for that merit scholarship.
Love it. So, obviously, let me ask you, we're an IB diploma. We're an IB World School with the IB diploma, IB career-related program. Does a student's enrollment in one of those two programs weigh into the admissions decision at all?
We definitely look at academic rigor. So we are going to look at IB, AP. We're going to look at advanced placement courses. What I say, what's nice with IB students, if you're taking IB coursework and you are able to submit a minimum of 24 IB courses, there's actually a separate scholarship for those students that can be worth upwards of $5,000. So that would add on. Say you're getting $32,000 and you got that 24 plus, that's another $5,000 that's going to help pay for your tuition. Since we're using an unweighted GPA, it is always going to come out of that 4.0 scale. That's really important for students because that recalculation throws a lot of people off pretty quickly. But I say with AP, with IB, you're going to be in a much better position when you get to a college level course, because you're going to have felt that academic rigor at an early point in your academic career. So assimilating into that college program is going to be a little bit easier for you.
Okay, no, that's great. Listen, I think, we like to think that the IB program, really think all of our students are prepared, for the next level. And certainly we like to think the IB program takes them to another level. But I just wanted to share this with you. Are you familiar with the old Maine Brick Award at the University of Arizona?
I do remember that. Yes.
We are. So you said you remember it, so maybe it's not there anymore, but we received it in 2015, 2016 for our students' academic performance at Arizona. So I guess we're doing all right there, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that award still exist?
I think we stopped doing that. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But I that's the second one I've seen in 6 years. So congratulations.
I'm keeping it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So with, you said something about 36,000 students on campus. So how many applications did you get last year?
We had 50,000 applications last year. That was the most we've ever received at the University of Arizona.
Wow. Is an essay required?
Nope. There's no essay and there's no letter of recommendation requirement.
All right. So no essay, no letter of recommendation requirement. So really for a student to stand out in your eyes as you're reviewing applications, they really need those core courses that you mentioned before and that GPA and those courses, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. So look, I think, you've given us, again, a good feel for the campus, a lot of opportunities for our students in terms of what they can study. I think you really helped us understand the financial picture there as well. I mean, is there any advice that you could give to this? I guess this will be the last question I ask you then. Is there any advice you would give to students at any point in high school as they begin this college search and the college application process?
Yeah, I love this question. I think it really comes down to like your choice. And it's important to remember that going to school, going to a college or university, it's going to really come down to like what you want to achieve. Think outside of the box. That's very important. But also think for yourself. Think of where do you see yourself? A lot of students I've talked to, like I applied to these schools because my friends told me that's where they're applying to. Yes, you can definitely do that. But we have a lot of students from schools all over the country where we just see that one kid, and I'll ask, like, why did you apply to the University of Arizona? And they're like, because of a specific program. And that's what's really important. There are some really unique opportunities at the University of Arizona that you might not be aware of. And the best way to find out about them is asking those questions. Every college, every university in the United States, they have somebody like myself. And we're here to help you. We're the ones that are going to kind of guide you through that process, even before you've decided to submit your application to the University of Arizona. We have lots of kids that are like, I don't know if I want to apply. Like, tell me why I should apply. Like, we're there to kind of coach you in that and give you that advice or connect you with those resources. So I really think it's take charge of that selection process, take charge of your pathway, and always reach out. Like, it's never a problem. Like, this is my job. I want to be here for you. So like, it's not a problem to reach out to any of us. And I would say every one of my colleagues at every school that I've ever like talked to at a college fair would say the same thing.
Yeah, no, I think that's really important for students and families to hear. Like, you want to hear from the students, right? Like you want to engage in thoughtful conversations with them, and that's why you're there. So students from our school, you're the person to reach out to, right?
That's me.
All right, Joe. Well, listen, I'm hopeful that after this, some more students consider the University of Arizona. I know. Listen, like I mentioned before about the cold, I don't ever want to do it again. So I would definitely, if I had to do it all over again, look at the university. All right, Joe. Thank you for the time today. Really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.